Hello and welcome back to another episode of TCN. Today, I'm smoking Acid's Blondie Belicoso. Before jumping into anything, a little neat fact about this guy is that he's actually exactly the same as the Acid Blondie. They just made him bigger, which is something I kind of like because I really like the Blondie, but I usually want kind of a bigger cigar to smoke, especially when the weather's nice. But going over the tobacco, this guy features a Connecticut shade wrapper with Nicaraguan binder and fillers. Our reviewer says that on the first third he was tasting a candy-like sweetness with sandalwood, potpourri, and fruitcake. On the second third, he says everything just gets a little bit lighter, so obviously light sweetness. It gets a little lighter when it comes to the sandalwood and the potpourri and the fruitcake, but he still says it's still flavorful and nice, but everything's definitely mellowed out. And then on the final third, our reviewer says that it just ends up becoming a smooth, sweet, earthy flavor profile that doesn't really have much to pick out. He didn't really rank this guy, but it was one of the best reviews I could find. So let's get in the dry puff and see what I'm thinking. Alright, starting off the dry puff, the infusion on this guy is very potent. I'm getting some really nice kind of fruity notes with some baking spice, which kind of lines up with what he's talking about. But besides that, I am picking up a little bit of light cedar on it too. We're about through the first third. I'm getting some nice sweet notes. I'm getting some charred wood. And I may be interpreting this as fruity, but I'm tasting banana with a little bit of cinnamon spice on it too, which is actually really nice. The first third is really good. The real only problem I have is the ash seems so loose on this guy. But let's get into the next third and see what I'm thinking. We're about through the second third here, and I gotta say, it becomes very lightly sweet now with a little bit of wood, but overall, this has an earthy flavor profile that completely coats the palate. It's so strong, it almost feels like a flip from the previous third. But let's get into the last third and see what I'm thinking. We finished smoking the cigar, and I have to agree, it is kind of a sweet, smooth, earthy flavor profile, but I was picking out notes of wood and pepper as it was getting a little bit more spicy. Ranking this cigar, I think it takes a little bit of a hit from the construction, which we'll go over, but I'm going to give it an 84. I think it's a nice cigar, great flavor, but especially when it comes for noobs, it's a little bit loose and a little bit uncontrollable. Let's go over that over notes. Alright, we're talking about notes. Obviously, construction wasn't the best. I would say meh at best. It's a very loose cigar. The ash doesn't really hold well or stay firm, unfortunately. So you're going to find yourself ashing on yourself a lot, unfortunately, if you're not paying attention to that. The draw, however, felt incredibly loose on the dry puff, but throughout the smoke, I would say it was great. It was nice and smooth. And the burn, however, was a little bit uneven. I kind of had to keep rolling it around and playing with it just to make sure it was burning clean and even. Price range, you can find these guys online in around the $7 range. I picked mine up for $12. Is this cigar noob friendly? I'm going to say yes. It may have a lot of Nicaraguan tobacco in it, and I can kind of feel that, but it's got a wonderfully infused Connecticut shade wrapper. It's so sweet and nice. Honestly, if maybe the cigar looks a little too big for you guys, pick up the Blondies. It's the same thing, but this is just the bigger version. I'm going to say low. Obviously, he's tasting sandalwood, potpourri, and fruitcake. I'm getting banana and a little bit of cinnamon. As well on the final third there, I was getting some nice wood and pepper, which he didn't mention anything on the final third. So I'm going to have to say low, obviously. Things kind of lined up, but not enough. But hey, that's all I got for this time. So why don't you like, subscribe, go down in the comments, let me know if you think the weather's going to stick, because honestly the weather is great and I really hope I can get back to the green screen soon. But either way, I'll see you guys next time.